What's the biggest plot twist of your life? Me and my older brother Nate were best friends growing up. He was everything I wanted to be. Tough, protective, always getting me out of trouble when I messed up. When I broke Mrs. Wilson's window playing baseball, Nate took the blame and got grounded for 2 weeks. When I failed my math test, he spent hours helping me study for the retake. We shared everything. Our tiny bedroom, video games, even a fake ID when we got to college. Our parents died in a car crash when I was 15. The whole world felt like it was ending, but Nate stepped up immediately. He was only 22, barely an adult himself, but he became my legal guardian without hesitation. He dropped out of his senior year, got 2 jobs working at a warehouse during the day and cleaning offices at night. I never heard him complain once. He'd come home exhausted, covered in sweat and dust, but still helped me with homework. When other kids got allowances, Nate made sure I had lunch money. When I wanted new sneakers, he worked overtime to get them. He never made me feel like a burden, even though I knew I was draining every penny he earned. I graduated high school with decent grades and got into state college. Nate was so proud he cried at my graduation. Said our parents would have been proud too. He kept working those same 2 jobs to pay my tuition, living off ramen noodles and hope. I promised him someday I'd pay him back for everything. 4 years later, I landed a good job at an accounting firm, finally making real money. First thing I did was try to give Nate cash, but he refused. Said seeing me succeed was payment enough. That's just how he was. Never wanted anything for himself. Last Thanksgiving, I brought my fiancée Emma home to meet him. She'd heard all my stories about my amazing big brother who raised me. They got along great, laughing at old photos, Nate telling embarrassing stories about when I was little. Everything felt perfect. Later that night, after Emma went to bed, Nate asked me to sit down. He looked nervous, fidgeting with his coffee cup like he used to do when we were kids, and he had something serious to tell me. "I can't come to the wedding," he said quietly. "What? Why not?" I felt panic rising in my chest. "You have to be there. You're my best man. You're gonna find out anyway. Better it comes from me." He took a deep breath, looked me straight in the eyes. "I'm not your brother." I laughed because that was insane. "What are you talking about? Of course you're my brother." "No, I'm not." His voice was barely a whisper. "I'm your dad." The room went completely silent. I could hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen, the clock ticking on the wall. Everything I thought I knew about my life just shattered. Nate, my dad, started explaining. Mom got pregnant at 15. Her parents wanted her to give the baby up for adoption, but she refused. She was terrified and young and had no idea what to do. So her family made up this story. They told everyone the baby was her little brother, raised him as their son. 5 years later, when Mom was 20, I came along. This time her parents were okay with it because she was older, more responsible, but they kept the lie going. It was easier than explaining the truth. "All those years," he said, "I knew you were my son, but legally, I couldn't be anything else. When your grandparents died, I couldn't let you go into foster care. You were my responsibility, my boy." I sat there staring at him, trying to process everything. All those sacrifices he made, working 2 jobs, giving up his youth, his dreams, that wasn't brotherly duty. That was a father's love. "Why tell me now?" I asked. "Because you deserve to know, and because," he hesitated. "Emma asked about family medical history for your kids someday. She'll need to know the truth." I thought about all the times he called me Buddy instead of my name, how he never dated anyone seriously because he was always focused on raising me. The name Emma and I picked for our future son was Nathan, after my brother who saved my life. I looked at Nate, at my dad, and realized it was perfect. It was staying Nathan.